Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to this explainer, where today we're going to demystify one of the most famous and, let's be real, most feared paranormal phenomena in pop culture, the Ouija board. We're taking a deep, fascinating look at the actual science behind something that has literally spooked people for generations. We're going to strip away the Hollywood special effects, the eerie music, the campfire legends, and reveal the grounded psychology at play here. And honestly, the real science is almost more mind-bending than the ghost stories.
You all know the exact setup. You've seen it in classic horror films like The Exorcist, massive hits like The Conjuring 2, even Indian films like A Death in the Gunj. The scene is always exactly the same, right? A group of people sitting around in a dark, totally silent room. Maybe they light a few candles to set the mood. They lightly place their hands on the planchette, that little triangular pointer thing, and then, suddenly, without anyone admitting to pushing it, it starts to move. Just gliding across the board, sliding from letter to letter, seemingly pulling everyone's hands right along with it. So we really have to ask the ultimate question here. Who or what is actually moving the board?
It's right here in this moment that the illusion really takes hold. Someone calls out, "Spirits, can you speak to us? Are you there?" And the pointer actually inches toward yes. Now let's be totally honest for a second. Some people are definitely just having a laugh and intentionally faking it to scare their friends. But we've got to acknowledge a really important fact from our source material. There are a ton of genuine users out there who are completely, genuinely shocked. Why? Well, because they literally feel their hands moving all on their own. They're not lying, they aren't pushing it on purpose, and because they get this totally bizarre sensation of movement without any conscious effort. They naturally just assume a ghost or some kind of spirit is taking control of their muscles.
But here is the absolutely crucial point. Ghosts aren't moving the board. You are. You just don't know you're doing it. Let me introduce you to the scientific hero of our mystery today, the ideomotor effect. This is a very real, incredibly fascinating psychological phenomenon where your brain sends tiny, basically imperceptible micro-muscle commands to your body. You move entirely without your conscious self being aware of it. So, your brain signals your body to make a physical movement, but it totally bypasses your active awareness. This effect, right here, is the true, hidden physiological force driving those spooky movements across the board.
To understand just how natural this is, think about something you've almost certainly experienced. Have you ever been lying in bed, just drifting off to sleep, and suddenly you feel like you're falling, and your whole body just violently jerks awake? That is called a hypnic jerk. Your body moves entirely unconsciously because your brain mistakenly thinks you're falling. Now, the ideomotor effect is incredibly similar to that hypnic jerk, but with one massive, game-changing difference. While the hypnic jerk happens as you are falling asleep, the ideomotor effect happens while you are completely, totally, 100% wide awake. Your hand is moving. Your brain is commanding it through those tiny micro-contractions. But your conscious mind? It's totally out of the loop.
So how exactly does this hidden biological quirk spell out actual words on a Ouija board? Well, when someone asks a supposed spirit a question, their own brain immediately gets to work behind the scenes. First, it pulls up subconscious images and memories of whatever deceased person they're trying to contact. Next, using those hidden memories and expectations, the brain actually formulates an answer to the question, all in the background. And finally, it secretly and silently commands the muscles in your hands and arms to push the planchette to the correct letters to spell out that exact answer. It's wild. It is essentially your subconscious mind talking to you, but completely disguised as a ghost.
I know, this sounds wild. It's really hard to believe your brain could just hijack your muscles without you even noticing. So I don't want you to just take my word for it. Let's break the fourth wall here for a second. Do you want to test this out right now? Yes, you, watching this explainer right now. You can actually become an active participant and feel this psychological phenomenon for yourself in real time. It's incredibly easy to do, and honestly, it's pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, here's exactly how we're gonna do our own makeshift pendulum experiment. Step 1, just grab a piece of string and attach a small, light weight to it. A ring or a button works perfectly for this. Or, like our source mentions, even a charging cable can work in a pinch. Step 2, hold the top of the string, letting the weight just hang down in front of you, and hold your hand perfectly, completely still. Seriously, freeze it. Step 3, just stare at the weight and strongly think to yourself that it needs to move in a clockwise direction. Don't move your hand. Literally, just imagine the clockwise motion. Focus on it. Give it a few moments, and eventually you are going to see it actually start spinning clockwise all on its own.
Now, right when it's spinning clockwise, I want you to change your thoughts. Simply tell yourself, now move anti-clockwise. Keep holding your hand perfectly still. Just watch what happens next. Without any conscious physical effort from you whatsoever, that pendulum is going to slow down and completely reverse its direction. It'll start spinning anti-clockwise. You aren't consciously moving it, but because your brain wants it to move anti-clockwise, it's sending those exact imperceptible micro-muscle movements straight down your arm to make it happen. It's like magic, but it's not. It brilliantly illustrates the brain's secret hidden power over your physical body.
So, a simple pendulum in your living room is one thing, but how do scientists actually conclusively debunk the Ouija board once and for all? Well, they do it using a definitive and honestly incredibly simple method known as the blindfold test. It is the ultimate proof, and it completely shatters the illusion.
Think about the logic of the blindfold test for a second. If an ethereal, invisible spirit was truly the entity guiding that planchette, it wouldn't need the human user's physical eyes to see the board, right? Like the expected response from a ghost would be that the pointer just keeps moving to the correct letters to spell out coherent words. But look at the actual human response versus the expected ghost response in these scientific studies. When participants are blindfolded and they don't know where the yes, the no, or specific letters are physically located on the board, the magic completely vanishes. The planchette starts pointing completely randomly, and instead of coherent messages, it produces absurd, chaotic gibberish. The spirit, as it turns out, is entirely dependent on where the human user's eyes think the letters are.
And you know what? The Ouija board isn't the only paranormal claim that just falls apart under the weight of psychology. Let's broaden our scope a bit here, because this exact same subconscious phenomenon is responsible for a whole host of other seemingly supernatural events. Take automatic writing, for example, where people claim spirits guide their hands to write messages with a pen. Or even more extremely, the physical thrashing and total loss of bodily control you see in alleged possessions. While many people making these claims are unfortunately just fraudsters, the ones who genuinely believe it's happening to them are experiencing this exact same thing. Their brain is making these micro movements unconsciously without them being aware of it. They feel completely out of control, so they understandably jump to the conclusion that they're possessed.
As our source material so perfectly sums it up, it is the act of the subconscious mind. The core takeaway I really want you to leave with today is that yes, the world is absolutely full of mysteries, but sometimes the answer is lying right inside our own heads. The people who aren't actively lying about these spooky experiences are simply victims of the ideomotor effect. Rather than being hard evidence of the paranormal, the Ouija board is actually a profound piece of evidence regarding the hidden power and, honestly, the terrifyingly quiet efficiency of the human brain.
So, the very next time you see a horror movie claiming to be inspired by true events, or someone swearing up and down they spoke to a ghost through a Ouija board, just remember the ideomotor effect. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If our own minds can so easily convince us that we're communicating with the dead simply by moving a piece of plastic without us even noticing, what other supernatural events in our world are just your brain playing brilliant, complex tricks on you? Something to chew on. Keep your wits about you, stay curious.